right, we have to talk about this because I think this is both like an absolutely amazing thing and an absolutely super scary thing all at one time. And it's a post from Elliot on Spectrum. And he said, "Hello, governors. I wanted to thank you for all your data, and it came in super useful. As previously mentioned, we had estimated some times based on our testing, and we knew they would be off by an order of magnitude." Did anybody get that vibe from them, or did anybody get the vibe that they were very confident in their numbers? Right? Also, Elliot is the one typing in chat with the diamond next to his name, if you guys aren't familiar. They seemed very confident in those numbers. So I'm confused by that comment, right? They came out and we were like 4,000 for this much SCU. Are you crazy? And they were like, no, that's good. It's a part of our, our economy changes. And we were like, that's bad. And they were like, shut up. Just let it play out. And I was like, okay, we'll just let it play out. Let's see what happens, And then we played it and we were like, this kind of sucks. And now they're like, we knew our numbers would be off. Give receipts, you're over dramatizing for content. I mean, I don't think I think I can find it within 5 minutes. I think I can find it within 5 minutes. And I bet chat can find it even faster. And I know you're being the over dramatizer right now. Making missions part.
Name for yourself. You're kind of a nobody. And that means the missions that are available to you will be
that's needed between A and B, just a baseline. And when work.
Will there be higher EVR calculations for the entire Pyro system, or is EVR only?
It's right around here.
I have a Gattax Thulium, which means I probably need to do it in 58 runs. It's because different ships early in this case is between 80 that's needed between A and B, but every time they get that mission, it might be a slightly different specific amount of SU, but it's going to be within a...
Here it is.
If you take into account, this is a 10-minute mission. So
here's him very confidently defending
and it makes a little pretty number. Now, I know that there's a lot of people looking at that going, 4,000 UEC, that's ridiculous. What's the point? If you take into account, this is a 10-minute mission. So, if you were organized...
Has anyone done an 80 to 100 SCU mission at be 10 minutes?
You could do maybe 5 of these an hour. So then you're looking at 20K. Or you could maybe even do a bit more if you had a friend helping you. So,
yeah, the comparison is going to be a tricky thing right now because all anybody rightfully knows and understands is how it's been before.
Absolutely.
As
that's economy on missions. Oh, now okay, now we're backpedaling. Okay, cool. I mean, you wanted to be a tough guy in the chat, but now we're I just do missions. Okay, good one. So anyway. There's your proof, is they were pretty confident. They were defending those numbers. Even though those numbers were fake, they were still, pretty hard defending them. Sorry, I keep looking back because the cat wants me to come hang out on the bed with her, but we're not doing that right now. We're reacting. It's very important that we do this. People need to know these things. So they used their data together with our data to change all their estimates to be more in line with what all you experience. So what we were afraid of is the exact opposite of this. What we were afraid of, because how starkly they were defending their position on the numbers that they were kind of coming at us with. We were worried that, bang, this is going to go live. It's going to be tough to deal with. It's not going to be fun. A lot of people were playing in Evo, sharing the numbers, and we're like, yo, how are we going to buy ships with these? It's a bad experience. So they use the data, and they are going to, in the next few days, committing an update to rebalance all cargo hauling missions. This will make them feel more worthwhile while still respecting EVR. On the subject of EVR, we have used all of your fantastic feedback during the development of hauling missions to iterate a rebalance of the EVR numbers, which will have a wider effect across all missions going forward. That's a reference to his previous post talking about, hey, and he said this in Twitch chat that they thought it would take us about 27 seconds to deal with an individual box at any given time. Obviously, box size comes into play there. Larger boxes are kind of hard to manage. Yeah, he accidentally said 2.7, and we haven't let him live that one down. So that is a big factor in it, is that the moving the boxes takes a little bit longer than they expected. I think flying the ships take a little bit longer than they expected. An atmosphere, things like that. EVR is expected value return or something like that. I can't remember what the acronym means, but effort versus reward. That's right, effort versus reward. So it's how they determine the baseline value of what a mission should pay out, and their estimated numbers were not good enough. And we told them that, and again, they defended their position, and then we showed them that, and now they're backpedaling a little bit in a good way. Backpedaling sounds like a negative thing, but it's not backpedaling, it's listening, and listening is fucking awesome. To note another change, so all of this is great. Top two paragraphs are amazing. I am very concerned about the last paragraph. To note another change along with this, we noticed people mentioning ships as progression. That was something I was very strongly opinionated about. What my opinion was that the early game, you need to be able to get out of your smaller cargo hauling ship into a mid-size one, 60 SU, 100 SU, to do those 80 to 100 SU missions, right? And then kind of that's where you grind for a while, and then you have a nice long grind to get up to the higher ones. Where is she now? Oh, she's really trying to make her presence known over there. Let me grab her. I know. Where'd your blanket go? You threw up on it. You threw up on your blanket. That's why it's not there. So, while reputation and other rewards... Oh, so what I was saying is, yeah, again, we want the grind in the middle, or I want the grind in the middle. I'm not speaking for anyone else other than myself. We want the grind in the middle, and you need to give people a little bit of sense of progression at the beginning. So while reputation and other rewards will be more of a source of progression, we can see how it would be difficult to engage with some of the bigger SCU missions when you only have a Nomad. With this, Nick and I are reducing the amount it costs to rent some hauling-focused ships, also some multi-purpose ships that can haul, which also means some ships that are not currently rentable will become rentable. I won't list all of them here because there's like 20 plus, but we are looking at making rentable the following ships. The first one is insane. The fact that they are renting the Vulture, I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with. It is absolutely insane to rent the Vulture. The Vulture prints money, and you are breaking the economy again. So it's awesome, and everyone's going to rent the Vulture, and that's how they're going to make all their money. I think they should backpedal this one significantly, or if they make it rentable, this should be pretty expensive compared to other ships. Freelancer, great. Raft, great. Mole, great. Mercury Star Runner, great. Carrick, who the fuck uses that anyway? Caterpillar, Hull Sea, Reclaimer is another one that's insane. And Starfarer, and more. So it's a good thing. And there we go. Okay, so Elliot responded in the Twitch chat. The idea with these is we will work out the maximum you can earn with hauling missions per day, group the ships by what missions they can do with them, and then balance the cost somewhat to that. The Vulture and Reclaimer will be balanced off how much you can earn on the salvage loop currently. Yeah, so they should be very, very expensive. So thank you, Elliot, for that. These should be incredibly expensive because they are the imbalance that exists in the game. RMC is brain dead. It is what feels like the baby of the game before the economy, the last mistake, right? And hopefully that's resolved. So that's my fear. My other fear is this. Renting is not progression at all. So this has to kind of be a sorry, I'm having a power outage right now. I will still be online, but my lights will be off. You'll hear me. Or Emmy I think Emmy actually turned my lights off. Yeah, I'm not having a power outage. Emmy turned my lights off from upstairs. Hold on. My wife turned my lights off. There. She has the same program upstairs that she literally turned them off. Yeah, so I had an Emmy outage, not a power outage. That was weird. Where was it going? Oh, rentals are not progression. They are they're rentals. You don't own them. They're not going to get you to feel that sense of progression at all. So as long as this is very temporary, very, very temporary, I'm okay with it. The fear of mine is CIG does temporary fixes and leaves them in for 3 years. And the other fear is these are some of the most, some of the most valuable, useful ships in the game that CIG kind of wants them to sell, probably. And the fact that they aren't, something tells me that the marketing team might not like this very much. But yeah, I don't know. I'm in a weird place right now with this one. Is being able to rent them right now, I think, is amazing. I think this is such a good change in the short term. My fear is that the short term changes end up going on for years, and that is very much a Star Citizen thing. And I hope they do something about that in the near future very quickly. So hopefully we see the economy team doing more and more and more and more. And what they do is start to add more rewards. Hopefully the changes to the amount of money we're making in hauling missions gives you that sense of progression where I can actually buy a ship through participating in the loop that I want to participate in, right? I should be able to buy a reclaimer by using a vulture, or hopefully there's like a middling ship as well somewhere in there at some point for the salvage profession, if the salvage profession ever gets revamped like it needs to. So, yep. Somebody in chat said hashtag bring back the grind. I don't think an impossible grind is good, or a grind that is difficult from level 1 is good, right? We talk about MMOs a lot here. MMO grinding is usually done by your character's level, and your character levels up quickly in the beginning, and it gets grindy towards the middle and end, right? In this example, it is grindy from the very, very start. So their solution is renting for now, and my long-term solution, I think, better be the ability to feel that sense of progression very quickly in the beginning, and then you get that grind through the middle and end. I think that's the right way to do it, but we'll have to see. In the end, the moral of the story here is they do listen, they do care, they do work hard, and some people at this company actually give a shit and want to make their content enjoyable, good, and fun. And they're listening to us, and they're making a change. It might not be the change that you want. It's certainly not the perfect change in my mind, but change is good, and listening is better. So thank you, Elliot. Thank you, Nick. And thank you, anybody else involved in this stuff, because being heard and on top of that, quick action is the changes that we expected to see from CitizenCon 2023. And there are a few people that are making those changes right now, or that we are feeling those changes from. And you guys are some of them. So thank you for that. And I hope this works out. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rebalance to all the cargo hauling missions are. And yeah, awesome.